AIAIA TMA-2 Studio Wireless Headphones, the silent upgrade that changes how producers work.
You're 3 hours deep into a mix session, leaning forward to adjust a compressor threshold, and the headphone cable catches your coffee mug. The mug survives, your patience doesn't. This happens more often than anyone admits, the constant micro-interruptions of being physically tethered to your desk by a cable that dictates how far you can reach, how freely you can move, how naturally you can work. It's not dramatic, it's quietly exhausting. Every time you stand to adjust a mic position or reach for a hardware synth, the cable reminds you that your monitoring is anchored to one spot. You've probably tried longer cables, they just create more slack to tangle. You've considered wireless, but every producer knows Bluetooth latency makes real-time monitoring impossible. So you stay tethered, assuming that's just how studio work has to feel. But what if the cable was the only thing between you and a faster, calmer workflow?
Here's what that tether actually costs you, and it goes deeper than inconvenience. First, time. Every cable snag, every untangle, every reach and pullback moment steals seconds that compound across sessions into hours lost per month. Momentum dies in those pauses. Second, creative energy. The mental friction of working within a physical radius drains the spontaneous flow that produces your best work. You stop reaching for that hardware effect because it means unplugging. You skip walking to the other side of the room to hear your mix from a different perspective because the cable won't stretch. Third, your future self. The mixes you could be making if your monitoring freed you to move, experiment, and trust your instincts without physical limitation. That suffocating sensation of being stuck isn't about discipline or talent, it's about infrastructure holding you hostage. And here's what makes this worse. Every wireless headphone you've tested confirmed your suspicion that latency and compression make them useless for real production work. But that assumption was built on old technology. Something genuinely different exists now.
This is where the AIAIA TMA-2 Professional Studio Wireless Headphones enter, and everything changes. The core mechanism is deceptively simple. A proprietary W+ link transmitter delivers sub-10 millisecond latency at 24-bit at 48 kHz resolution, placing wireless monitoring inside the imperceptible threshold where your brain cannot distinguish it from wired. Don't just pick any wireless headphones for studio work. Make sure they have a dedicated ultra-low latency protocol specifically engineered for professional monitoring, so you never experience the lag, compression, and dropout issues that make standard Bluetooth completely unusable for real mixing and production ever again. The 40mm biocellulose drivers reproduce everything from 10 Hz sub-bass rumble you feel in your chest to 40 kHz air you sense rather than hear, honest, uncolored, revealing. The modular Danish design means worn earpads get replaced, not the entire headphone, sustainability that saves money across years of ownership. Battery delivers 20 hours in W+ mode and 40 hours in Bluetooth, so charging anxiety disappears from your vocabulary. A mixing engineer was finishing a client deadline at midnight when his wired headphones failed. He switched to the TMA-2 wirelessly in under 30 seconds and delivered the final master before sunrise without reconnecting a single cable. And yes, I tested this myself against my wired reference monitors. The translation held, the imaging held, the trust held. Wait, wireless headphones you can actually mix on? That's allowed now?
Here's the benefit chain that builds across weeks. Immediate result, your desk loses cables, your reach expands, your monitoring stays locked. Weekly win, you start walking around your room checking mixes from different positions, something physically impossible while tethered, and your translation to speakers and car systems improves measurably because you're hearing spatial truth, not just the sweet spot. Long-term freedom. 3 months in, your mixes translate consistently.
Your sessions start faster, and your creative output increases because removing friction removed your biggest silent excuse. A professional audio publication measured latency at approximately 8 milliseconds, confirming the sub-10 millisecond specification with real testing equipment, not marketing language. 2 verified outcomes from working professionals. One electronic producer reported the wireless freedom genuinely changed how I work. I reach for hardware synths without thinking now. While a podcast engineer confirmed hosts hear themselves in real time without distraction, and audio quality catches plosives instantly. Industry analysts identified the W+ link as occupying a competitive position with no direct competitor matching all attributes simultaneously. Which of these benefits hits you hardest? Comment 1 for cable-free clarity, 2 for mix translation, 3 for creative freedom. Concerned the price feels steep? Consider this. The modular design means you replace $30 earpads instead of $300 headphones every 2 years. The long-term cost of ownership is actually lower than disposable alternatives. I noticed this after 3 weeks. I stopped reaching for my wired headphones entirely. Not because they sounded worse, because the workflow difference made going back feel like voluntarily adding friction.
The AIAIAI TMA-2 professional studio wireless headphones deliver the one thing cables have been quietly stealing from your workflow: the freedom to monitor without physical compromise at latency levels that professional engineers verified as imperceptible. Your mixes deserve monitoring that moves with you, not monitoring that anchors you. Thousands of producers and engineers have already made this shift, quietly, confidently, permanently. The demand for this product grows steadily as more professionals discover what cable-free studio monitoring actually feels like. Link in the description. First one, pinned to the top. Your studio has been waiting for this. Now you know why.
For demo videos and current pricing, check the link in the description.